Hey guys, welcome back, and this is Gold Rush, a brand new game that came out this week, and so many creators, so many YouTubers are creating content about this. From NTAC to Dragus to Raptor, they're all making excellent videos, but the one thing I feel like is missing is some proper tutorials, and I really do enjoy making tutorials. So this first episode or first tutorial will be on the hog wash and how to set it up and how to get it going and how to sell your first batch of gold. So sit back and enjoy. I won't insult your intelligence by telling you how to hit start to start the game, but once you actually are in the game, a nice little message pops up. It says, "Are you looking for a guide?" The creators of this game have done an excellent job of both creating a text and picture guide in the journal, as well as its own DigTube, which is its in-house in-game video reference system, which has a video for pretty much everything in the game, but does lack vocals for explanation, so hopefully I can help with that. When you get to the center of the town, you're going to stop at the bank. Make sure you put that parking brake on. Approach the door. There's nothing else to do. Just hit the door and you are going to rent a piece of land. You cannot buy it because you don't have enough money, but this one is basically free. Once you rent it, you're going to hit cancel. It is a little confusing, but get in the truck and let's go get some gear. Once we pull into the warehouse, we're going to put that parking brake back on and we're going to hop into the back corner of this warehouse. Now, everything that we need initially is right there. So just hit tab, bring up the journal, and there's a nice little list of the stuff you need to buy, but make sure you buy the right stuff. We don't need the extension. We need to get the core for the hog band sluice box, and you only need one piece. Make sure you get the hog pan with no pump. Don't get the pump or it won't work. We're going to need 2 mats for the core to put in there to collect the gold, as well as we're going to need a bucket to kind of transport water and dirt back and forth. We're also going to need to get the gold panning system itself because it doesn't tell you to do that in the journal, but we do need to get it because it's not there on site. So just hit those to buy them as well. Just head over to the cashier and then you can hit buy, and it's almost all the money that you have. A nice little warning comes up to tell you where to go get the gear, which is kind of right where we park the truck. Now you actually have to put all this gear piece by piece into the back of the truck. It's a little bit awkward because you have to like jump up there and everything, but just make sure it's actually in there. The game does a pretty kind of good job of keeping it in the truck, so you don't really have to worry about stuff just falling out unless maybe you tip the truck, but just get it all in there and then we have to get it to our plot. With the gear all loaded in our truck, we're going to head to our land claim, and it's the first right before the railroad tracks along this dirt road. You can always hit tab and bring up the map to kind of figure out where you're going, but it's a very short drive through a little industrial area, and once we get there, it's a short drive and we'll set up our gear. As you approach the land claim, you're going to see a little town with some stairs on the left-hand side, a storage area on the right. Where we'd like to go is the far back right-hand corner, right by this little fire, and we're going to park our truck here to get the gear out. Once you get in the bed of the truck, it could be a little tricky, but you want to get the long metal piece, which is the core. It has number 1 and 2 in red numbering. We're going to follow a little fence back to this creek, and then when we drop it, we're going to see where we can place it. There's like little, almost like wooden railroad tracks kind of right across the entrance, and that's where we're going to put this. And it's a kind of set place. You can't put it anywhere else. So there's a little highlighted area, and that's all you have to do is just click it in there, and that's that. Now you have to go get the next piece, which is the kind of where you're going to put the dirt and the water, and you're going to again see the little highlighted area and click it in there. The next part you have to put in is the mats, and there's 2 of them, so it is a lot of walking, but you'll definitely get your steps in for the day. Last 3 pieces we need is the bucket, which will be pouring water into the hog system, as well as the kind of panning system that we have to fill up with water and put on a flat area, and then finally is the gold pan itself, which will drop off right here. And now we're ready to get started with digging and washing the dirt for some gold. Bring up the shovel, you have to hit the arrow keys, but not the arrow keys that you would use in directional pad, but the arrow keys that are underneath the period and the comma on your keyboard underneath the M, K, or L keys. Now that kind of brings up the flashlight or the shovel. Once you get the shovel, just hit left click to actually shovel into the dirt, and then you're going to hit E to drop it into the hog system itself. Now, each shovel is 10%. If you kind of miss it, you can miss and skim and only get like 1 or 3%, but each shovel full is exactly 10% once it's actually full. So we're going to do this to its 100%, and once we fill it to 100%, we're going to get a bucket of water and pour it into the hog system. Once we fill the hog system, you can see it's 100%. We're going to go grab the bucket, take it over to the stream, and fill it with some water. We're going to take that bucket over to the hog system, pour it in, and it's going to push the dirt down into those little mats, and then hopefully collecting some gold. Now it takes 10 shovels to fill up the hog system, and then 3 buckets of water to clean it out. So 10 shovels, 3 buckets of water, 10 shovels, 3 buckets of water. And from my kind of time in the game, it's about 4% each time that you do this. So to get the entire mats filled with 100%, you're probably looking at like around like 25 to 30 cycles, depending on if you're short, if you're only at 91% or 95%. So just keep that in mind, that this is a little bit tedious. It took me, I think, about an hour said and done, from, you know, setting up all the gear to finally washing out the mats and selling the gold. So just, you know, keep that in mind. That is a long process. You can always wash the mats early, but, you know, that's kind of up to you. It is now 10 o'clock at night in the game, and this is the last kind of buckets of water I need to put in to get 100% on both the mats. So it definitely took some time in game, but since it's so dark outside, I don't want to kind of show you guys how to do the panning system, because well, you really can't see it. So I'm going to run over to the campfire and take a little break, and then we'll get back to it first thing in the morning. The entire day night cycle takes a long time, but nonetheless, it is now morning, the sun is up, and now it is time to pan some gold. Once we get over to the river, we need to do a couple things. We just have to kind of do a setup here. So you need to get your bucket, and then you need to fill your bucket up with some water. Now we're not going to put it into the machine, we're just going to place it right back on the ground somewhere on a flat surface. Once we do that, we're going to grab one of the mats, and we're going to wash the mat out in the water. Now we can wash both mats out, but I'm a little superstitious about this, so I do one at a time. You can do 2, that's up to you. Once you do that, you're going to grab your gold pan, then put the bucket on top of it, and it's going to pour out some of the mixture. There's 4 pours you can do. I recommend saving the game, because sometimes the gold pan goes flying, sometimes you accidentally dump it out, and you would get really upset if you dumped out all your gold by mistake just because the game is a little fidgety. Once you do that, you're going to hit E, and it's a little kind of bugged out right now, but Z or Z is the key to bring up all those kind of controls. But left click and down will, you know, kind of put it into the water. Right click will raise it up. Your WASD will kind of tilt it left, right, up, and down. And then if you hold down the mouse, you will be able to kind of rotate it. As you rotate it, you're going to clean off the dirt. Sometimes you might see the water turn yellow, but that's okay. Just kind of rotate it, and then you'll eventually find some gold, and then pour out that water, and then you'll be able to suck it up. To get into the gold picking mode, you're going to hit the shift key, and you'll have the tweezers to pick up bigger chunks of gold, and then a suction cup to kind of suction it out of the pan. Now, both ones will automatically deposit it into your stash, so you don't have to actually put it in the glass jar yourself. It automatically does that. Now, if you're superstitious like me, you wash the gold again just in hopes that something more will be found, but in my experience so far, it's the first time is the only time. So you just dump it back out and then go get some more out of the bucket. Like I said before, you can get 4 turns or 4 pans out of each bucket, and since we have 2 mats we have to clean, that's a total of 8 pans that you get per kind of turn of this filling it to 100% and then cleaning the gold. At the end of it, you'll have your gold, and then we have to either go smelt it down to make a bar, or we can just sell the ore straight off. You're now watching me suck up the last little speck of gold. After 8 gold pans, I've come out to 0.60 ounces, so just a little over half an ounce of gold. So overall, not too bad, but now we have to either wash this a little bit extra because I'm superstitious, or we need to go to the blacksmith and we can either smelt it down into a bar, or we can just sell the ore. So we're just gonna have to head into the truck and head over to the blacksmith. Pulling into the blacksmith, it's that little shack. Don't get it confused. It's not the kind of big thing in the back. Make sure you put your parking brake on. But we're going to come up here. There's nothing, no guys or anything. It's just a little, you know, shed door. And you can either sell the ore or craft a bar. Now, if we sell the ore, we can see here that I would get $590. Now, if I do the bar, we can see it costs $6, and also I lose some of my gold as well. Now, I don't know what the answer is about what you would get more more, but it says the gold bar per ounce is 1220, and my 0.6 here they're going to buy for 590. So it seems almost about the same. So for me, I'm just going to sell the ore. So with $600 in my pocket, now is the time to head back to town and buy some more gear. We can buy the extra extension for the hog. We can also add the pump. You know, there's other things that we can do. And then I will make some more tutorials about how to set those different things up. I hope you guys like this tutorial. I love and very much enjoy making tutorials. So if you did, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends. I do really enjoy this game. It is a little grindy, you know, definitely a walking simulator, like, you know, 5.0, but it is a very kind of fun game, and who doesn't like trying to get some gold? As always, I'm the Flying Ross, and I'll check you guys next time.